You've got questions?
Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This is the 34th edition of Conversations at the Dinner Table. And for people who follow these conversations, I hope you really enjoy this. I haven't got any questions, but I'm in a good mood. I've got a drink and I've got Tulu here. And if you follow these conversations, you know Tulu is never short of a question. So that's just who she is. Oftentimes, you see her talking, you see her laugh. And last conversation, my mum was crying and Tulu started crying. So pay attention and have a look at Tulu's face and see how she reacts to things. Because it's a joy to make her laugh and it's really exciting to make her cry.
Oh, wow, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. I love to do both, but I love to laugh more than cry. Have you seen me crying before, Matthew?
Yes, when
Okay.
my mother was speaking in the last one, you were wiping tears from your eyes.
Yeah, yeah. And Ben made me cry the other day as well. Have you? Oh, Emmanuel. I think it was Emmanuel. Yeah. So thank you, Matthew. And so do we need introduction or we just assume people know
Uh,
who we are speaking?
just for people who have never tuned in, there's 15 guests that we speak to at the dinner table. There's Uh, if you say on the left hand side of the dinner table is God, on my right hand side is Jesus, sitting next to Jesus on his right hand side is Mary Magdalene, sitting next to her is John Lennon, sitting next to him is Princess Diana, sitting next
Hmm.
to Princess Diana is the Queen, and then Prince Philip. Up the other end of the table is Peter. On the other side of the table is Paul. It's my mother, my father, Tulu's husband Benjamin, Tulu's stillborn miscarriage child Emmanuel, and then on their left-hand side is Bethany, my scribe angel, and that's it.
Thank you, Matthew. You did
Michael
good.
Jackson and Freddie Mercury is also there. So
Oh, wow.
on the conversations, we talked to about five or six of the 15 people, and there's a variety. I'm in a good mood, so we'll do at least an hour, but as you logged in, how long this went for. I hope, pardon me, I hope you enjoy yourself.
Amen. Thank you, Matthew. Oh, I'm gonna start from Freddie because you said Freddie is at the table. So, hello, Freddie. What is it like being at the dinner table?
It's really good to meet you, Tulu. You go to sleep each night and come up here for about 5 days while you sleep. And I talk to you often, and I really love you. Uh, you're ticklish, and I like to jab you in the side from time to time. I like to ask you embarrassing questions and you
Oh,
laugh
wow.
and you tell me the answers. Um, I'm a
Man.
lot closer to you than you know, and you've been to my house in
Oh,
heaven and you've
wow.
seen my cats, and
Man.
possibly that's why you're starting to feel
Love
like
that.
you might get a cat for your children.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Man, heaven is always full of surprises. I cannot be doing all of this and I have no clue, Freddie. I don't know
Oh
any of.
well, it's just the supernatural.
Wow. Do I talk because I can be very shy? So when you ask me questions, am I shy or I do tend to speak to you? What do I
Now,
do?
you talk to me because you know who I am.
Oh. So what is it like being at the dinner table with the father?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to converse with him and uh, people sit in various places in the dinner table, but today I'm sitting at his left, and it's really good to meet him. He's becoming a dear friend to all of us at the dinner table.
Oh, thank you, Freddie. What do you know about my husband that I don't know that you can tell me?
He's a very good lyricist. He writes really good lyrics. He's helped me write lyrics to songs,
Mm.
and he's very theologically deep, and
Oh,
he's
wow.
got a deep relationship with Jesus and the Father, and he's like a good mentor to me.
Oh, wow. And I believe Matthew's at the dinner table. Do you talk to Matthew as well when he comes to the
Yeah,
dinner
we
table?
talk.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
What is he like?
We spend time together. Matthew doesn't remember his trips to the dinner table when he sleeps and when he's awake, watching podcasts and stuff and bilocating. But
Mm.
he has a great effect on people. The people of heaven really love him, and it's a real privilege to speak to him one on one.
Oh, thank you, Freddie. I'm looking forward to your Audible book. I am so much looking forward to it. I can't wait. I know I'm going to enjoy it because I really like the way you communicate. Are you looking forward to the book as well?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more people having access to it, and that'll be good. Heaven looks forward to hearing the recording too.
Oh, wow. I thought you've got the recording already. So it's interesting to know everyone's looking forward to it. So hopefully we'll have it very soon. Thank you, Freddie. I just wanted to say hello to you because you were at the table. Thank God Matthew
It's
mentioned your
it's it's really good to speak to you. You truly are a beautiful person, Matthew. Is pinching himself, trying to reconcile the fact that you finally decided to do Audible books. He's so happy, and he was talking to his mother about it. I heard him talking to his mother about it. She being so happy that he finally got his way, and she's excited, and we're excited, and we look forward to all the books. He's been listening to the John Lennon book, and for those of you who uh, who are listening to this, the book "All You Need Is Love," John Lennon Speaks from Heaven, is available as an audio book on Audible right now, and you can get that from Audible, the website, or Amazon, and you can listen to that and really enjoy it.
Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, I never knew I was to be kind, I wasn't interested in Audible because I don't listen to Audible, so I didn't know the importance while Matthew was pressing me that we need to do this. I was thinking it's not necessary that majority of people either read book, Kindle or paper book, but I can see the value now and I'm so happy that I'm really waiting for each of those books to be turned into Audible. So thank you, Freddie. Have you got any advice from me, Freddie?
Take one day at a time. Don't think about the whole project. Just send two or three audio books a month to get processed, and over time you'll catch up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hello, Ben.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm pleased that you're uh, placing orders to get audio books done. Uh,
Hmm.
I did you uh, Matthew doesn't know. Did you order the commandments book?
Yes, I've done that already. So it's
Yeah,
in process. I've already paid half. The person asked for 50% upfront, so I've paid that today. So that will start from today. You will start working on it from today.
yeah. Makes Matthew really excited. Makes me really excited because the commandments is a book that's very important. to the
Yes.
world and to heaven.
Oh.
The difference between the commandments that Matthew did the interviews with
Mm.
and Jesus spoke in on the playlist is that the Audible book is the edited version of that with the chat GBT changing the words and stuff. So it's a more professional recording. So when the people of heaven get the commandments book, it'll be a better book.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, I've got your book as well in process, yours and Michael Jackson's book. So I hope the person does a good job. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Ben, I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite thing to do in heaven that you couldn't do on earth?
Teaching on the podcast.
Mm, that's your favorite thing now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Why do you like the teaching on the podcast?
Uh, because I always wanted to teach.
I remember, you're right. Mhm.
And it's really good when we put the phone lines open and people ring in and ask questions. Uh,
Mhm.
they not only ask who they want to talk to, uh, Emmanuel, me, or Michael, but they have a question specifically for me. So
Mm.
when they want to talk to me, they've got a question that relates to me, and I like that being played on the podcast. The person asking the question and my answer, and we teach. We go through the books and teach the books, but sometimes it's better teaching when someone asks us a question.
So they can dig further through questions.
Yeah.
So, what is it like having Freddie at the table?
He's good value. He's a pretty good Christian for someone that wasn't a Christian, and he's very loving. He's very deep, very profound. He asks good questions, and he does his homework. I give him homework to do, and he does his homework and come back to me, and he's he's really deep himself. He's good to talk to, and he's fast progressing through the realms of heaven.
Oh, thank you, Ben. What do you think about girls telling me to get a cat? Do you agree to that? That we need a cat?
You keep on meeting Freddie in heaven, and you'll get used to the cat.
Oh, wow. Do you like cats? Or you like all animals now, isn't it? You're not a
Yeah,
animal.
I like Freddie's cats. I go to his house, and they come up and they sit on my lap, and they come and talk to me. And Freddie loves the way I treat his cats.
Maybe we're going to get a cat then. Cats are not really difficult, so I could do cat. I couldn't do dog, so cat will be a better compromise for the girls. Thank you. Is there anything that you learn in heaven now that you wish you could have shared with me when you were on earth?
Uh, I didn't really sing on Earth very
Mm.
much. I get the opportunity to sing in heaven. You saw me play drums on Earth and play drums in heaven. I didn't really write songs on Earth. I wrote poetry, and you like my poetry.
Yeah.
Um, I've written Jesus and the Father and other saints at the dinner table poetry. And they really appreciate it. It's got like a computer printer, and you can type the poetry in, and it handwrites it on the printed page. So I give people poems and stuff. They really appreciate it. They frame them and put them in their house.
Wow, that's so
So it's
beautiful.
just like a special gift I give people. Of course, Matthew won't. You've got to remember this. Matthew won't remember any of this.
Not at all. Not at all. You're right. So now that you're in heaven, do you still reflect on the moments that we had as a family together? Is this something that you still remember? or you
Yeah, I
forget?
still remember. I still remember everything.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, Ben. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you've gone through a transformation, and uh, I'm really proud of the commentary that you're giving on the books, on the God conversations. I'm really proud of the way that you're not hard on Matthew. You allow him to have a day off now and then. I'm proud of you sleeping in on a Saturday and Sunday. I'm proud of you uh, not working too hard anymore and pacing yourself. I'm really proud that you're budgeting to get the audiobooks done. Um, you make Matthew happy in so many ways, and you can consider you making Matthew happy is like making Jesus happy. Like,
Wow.
uh, like the whole of heaven really appreciate uh, you bringing Matthew joy. That they're happy because Matthew's one of the darlings of heaven, and so that everyone in heaven sees that. And sometimes Matthew doesn't want to work; he just wants to talk to you because he gets lonely. So we're proud of so many things that you do. I'm proud of you as a mother, and um, you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, Ben. I'm proud of you as well, of everything you've achieved in heaven, even though I can't see them all. But I know you're doing so many great things, and I'm happy for that. And I just want you to know that I love you. So
Just
thank you.
speak up a bit. Matthew can't hear too well.
Matthew, can you hear everything I've said, or you didn't hear
Yeah,
nothing?
I hear, but if you can speak louder, that'd be good.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Let's go to Emmanuel. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello, Mum.
How are you?
What secrets do you want to know from me today?
Tell me the best secret. What do I do with you when I'm in heaven?
We sit and talk.
We sit and talk?
Yeah,
Just,
you ask me a lot of questions.
oh, I do ask you a lot of questions.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah,
I wish I know all of this. My spirit
yeah,
knows, isn't it? So I can tap into my spirit and ask my
yeah.
spirit, what will you do in heaven when
You
you're in heaven?
you you ask me questions. You ask God. You ask everyone questions. You ask a lot of questions of people, and you're learning. Your spirit's learning, and you're getting knowledge that you can give better commentaries.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. I wouldn't think there's a connection in there.
You've got to learn. You've got to learn over the next few years how to get all the information so that you can do Matthew's job.
Mm, mm. Do Matthew's job?
Yeah, so you can have all the theology to speak on behalf of God and Jesus and the saints.
Mm. Okay, we'll think about it. I wouldn't say no. I used to say no outright before, but there's so many things I've said no to that I'm saying yes to now. So I guess you know the future. You know what I'm capable of or what I'm going to do in my future. So what
Whatever
secret
Matthew's here, you don't have to do it, but
when it's gone?
you'll get so good that you'll naturally want to try it soon.
Yeah, I think I just need to build more confidence in that. I don't trust myself. I don't trust the message I will bring. That was what I was telling Matthew a few days ago, that I wouldn't even type wherever the saints say through me or the Father, because I wouldn't believe that is true. Yeah. So what other secret do you think I need to know? Maybe about Daddy? Hmm?
He talks about you all the time, tells me about your life and the life that he lived with you, and we watch films. We watch films of yours and dad's life, and
Wow.
he tells me about the scenes in Like we see scenes in the movie, and then he'll talk about what happened before then and what happened after then and what led up to that. So we can watch movies out of yours and Dad's life, and then Dad goes into more detail about why that happened.
Wow, that's so beautiful. We can only go back to the pictures, isn't it?
Speak up a bit.
I said, that's really good. We can only go back to the pictures here on Heart or wherever videos that we've taken in the past. But it's always so emotional for me. So I don't like watching Ben back in a way. Yeah. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. I wanted to ask you a question, Emmanuel. What is it like watching me grow in this past 12 months?
It's been really exciting, and I've known about your future. I know what standard of book you're going to be doing in the guidebook number 20, and I know how advanced you'll be by then, and I've seen what you achieve. We've seen book number 10
Hmm.
and the questions you ask God and the in-depth answers that he gave, and it'll mark like a transformation. Book number 9 is going to be a standalone book too, just like
Hmm.
Unbound was a standalone book. Book number 9 is going to be part of the series, but a standalone book too. Common misconceptions in the Christian faith, um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think. I think Matthew's taking a rest because he didn't feel right with the two of the questions, and he just needs the courage to speak on behalf of them. And he doesn't want to do half a job. He wants to be in the right frame of mind to do it. So it's good that you've changed and able to accept when Matthew can't speak.
Yeah, I've really changed. I don't know. This is me. It's like something, I'm not my usual self or my old self. It's like I'm a new person. I can't believe I'm telling Matthew, it's okay. You can have a day rest. You could even have 1 week rest. It's okay. Oh, yes, I'm glad I'm coming out of religion because religion has caused so much damage to a lot of Christians. And when I'm watching back or trying to transcribe the books, that's when I see a lot of things that I believe in the past that I do question myself now that how could you have believed that that is absolutely right? So thank you, Emmanuel. I'm really glad for the growth and thank you as well what you are inputting into me. Heaven is inputting a lot of things to me, so I'm so grateful. So Matthew, before I continue asking any question, let me pause. Do you have any question?
So I just want to ask my mum, what do you think of the John Lennon interview? Are you happy with the John Lennon audiobook? Yes, I've listened to the whole audiobook here in heaven, and I've listened to half of the audiobook when you listen to it, and I'm really happy with it. Really happy that Bethany and the Holy Spirit and Tulu work together to work on Tulu's attitude to get all the audiobooks done. I know it was something that you felt for a long time that we need audiobooks, and it's very important that that was done. And I'm really impressed with Toulouse' attitude to commit to that. And what do you think of what I'm up to? So, Matthew, I'm aware that you struggle with your sleep, and sometimes you decide to stay up all night, and then a few hours into the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, you decide to go to bed, and we're proud of you for going to bed. it's good for you not to fear not being able to get to sleep. It's good for you to go to sleep at 3 o'clock and stay awake talking for an hour or two until you're tired. I'm very aware of your struggles, and Toulouse says you just keep on making better decisions, and you keep on coping with every issue that comes up, and she's proud of your resilience, and I'm proud of that too. And it'll be a good thing when Elon Musk and Donald Trump book comes out. You'll be happy to read that, and that'll be a good book for you to produce. I know you've been looking forward to it. Don't get carried away about people downloading it. It's going to touch the one or two lives it's meant to touch, and I'm really proud of everything that you do. I'm very happy with you, and I really dearly love you. Have you got any questions for me, Tulu?
What shall I ask you? Hmm. What is it like seeing Matthew go through a lot of struggle on a daily basis? What keeps you going in heaven when you see him in those situations?
We know that the Holy Spirit is good enough, and the angels and saints are good enough to entertain Matthew and help him get through things. So when I see a struggle, I know that there's going to be an outcome, and I have faith in God that he's going to get through it. But it hurts. It sort of gives me worry, and it's just like Jesus. When a person on earth weeps and cries and struggles, Jesus weeps too. It affects him emotionally too, and it's the same for me. When Matthew's struggling, I suffer, but he's becoming really resilient, and he's learning a lot, and he's an exciting person to watch.
Thank you. And how are you able to contain the joy of being a mom to Matthew, that's your son? How are you able to contain that joy on a daily basis, especially when you see the transformation is brought into heaven? The heaven you arrived into is different from the heaven you are now.
I have to pinch myself, and keep on waking myself up that this is truly my son. When I see him speaking at a conference, and the whole conference is full of people who've won competitions, and they all want the 5 minutes talk to Matthew and the selfie, and there's so many people have got a picture of themselves and Matthew and Bethany in their house, and you can go to a person's house and they'll have it above their TV. They'll have a picture of Matthew and Bethany and stuff, and it's people's most treasured possession. There's actually artists in heaven. A lot of commercial artists in heaven have started, and they'll paint the selfie, and you can take your selfie into one of the artists, and I'll paint a full size painting of you and Matthew and Bethany, and people put them up on their walls and stuff. It's the most treasured possession, and you can actually touch the artwork on a button on the artwork, and it'll play the 5 minute conversation that they had with Matthew and Bethany. It'll be a recording, so they can just look at it and hear the conversation again. And it's a chief motivator for a competition winner to win the competition again. And then Matthew and Bethany will meet people who've entered a competition and didn't win, but truly wanted to meet Matthew and Bethany. They'll meet Matthew and Bethany on the street. They'll just come out on the street one time, and Matthew and Bethany will be walking down the street, and they'll get the chance. So God knows how to reward everyone. And Matthew and Bethany are a reward for everyone in heaven. That's why he wanted to drive taxis. He wanted to surprise people, but it seems that he can just walk through the streets and surprise people.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Now knowing God so well, what is your favorite thing that you could say you love about God?
About Bethany,
About God. What do you love most about God?
his compassion.
Hmm. Wow. And you
Got
mentioned,
unending compassion, and he'd have everyone come to heaven if it was
hmm,
possible.
hmm,
He truly, he's got tremendous depth to his compassion. He loves so many people. The Christian church, because of all their verses in the Bible, are so constrained, and they put God in a box, and he's just a whole lot more beautiful. It's really rewarding talking to God about my own life, but about Matthew. And um, I just mention Matthew and talk about Matthew, and God cries, and we watch him suffer, and but there's beauty in his suffering. Um,
hmm,
we know that when he can't sleep, he's going to have a conversation with a saint, and the saints line up and God lines up to have a conversation with him, and he mightn't remember it the next day, but they really get blessed to have a one-on-one conversation, and every time he goes to sleep, the whole of heaven celebrates because he arrives shortly after that, and he starts doing things. Um,
wow.
so God has amazing, outstanding love and compassion on people.
Oh, thank you. I love what you said that there's beauty in his suffering. And I think everyone needs to always see suffering in that way, that even though you might suffer, but you see the beauty in the suffering, not seeing just the suffering. I really love that. Thank you so much. What is it like living with, oh, you're not living with Bethany, or are you? Does she just come to you? Does she come to visit you? You don't visit
Heaven half the time, every time Matthew's asleep, her and Matthew are in heaven. So, if Matthew sleeps for 12 hours, they're up here for a week and a half.
Oh,
And
wow.
so they come to 5 or 6 dinners at the table, and we spend a lot of time together. Bethany, you know, Bethany's just like his wife, and she's a daughter-in-law to me. She can walk around without her wings on. She can have her wings pulled right into her back, but she likes to walk with her wings on, and
Mm.
she's just so pretty. She just I've never seen a girl look at Matthew like she looks at Matthew. She's just so full of love and respect for him.
Oh, that's something Matthew can look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank, thank you so much. I wanted to ask Father this. Father, I've heard so many times that you do cry a lot. Do you laugh?
Yeah, I laugh. You've experienced saints making you laugh, and uh, the saints are empowered by the Holy Spirit. So it's part of me that makes you laugh. Yeah, I only really weep around
Mm,
people I'm really close to.
mm,
Just like you can mix with a whole lot of people and not cry, but you meet with a friend and they ask you how you are and you fill with tears. So it really depends on how close the person is for me to cry. But I do laugh and I find things funny. Um, and but I'm a pretty serious sort of person.
Hmm. So what tends to bring you joy, Father
Matthew,
Matthew?
yeah.
Wow.
Christians who Christians who or people who love unconditionally, people who've just got an attitude of love and compassion for
Mm.
other people and understanding and empathy. People just who are good souls bring me joy.
Wow. So, Father, do
And
you?
they're not particularly reserved for the Christian faith. And there's many people in other faiths that are just beautiful souls. Like everyone knew Princess Diana was a beautiful soul. Everyone knew Michael Jackson was a beautiful soul. Michael would have been popular without his music.
Wow.
Um, and he's just a beautiful soul. And Princess Diana was just loved, not so much for her beauty and not so much
Mm.
because she was a princess, but because she was a beautiful soul, and people knew that. And that's why they're at the dinner table here. So beautiful souls bring me joy. And there's so many unknown people in the world that walk up to a homeless person and give them $5. And
Mm.
every person that gives homeless people money or desperate people money, they really make me happy. I tune in and I watch people approach homeless people, and sometimes Jesus and saints pretend to be homeless people just to meet
Mm.
some of the best people in the world.
Wow.
Matthew's met Jesus 11 times in the body, and 10 out of 11 times it was a homeless person. Um, and so um, we're tremendously close to the brokenhearted, and the people who bless the brokenhearted really bless our souls.
Mm. Thank you so much, Father. So you said something about beauty in people. So how do you see beauty in creation that we might miss or that we tend to miss in a lot of situations? Is there any difference in the way you see beauty in creation and the way your creation, sees it?
Well, people might see a pedophile get accused of pedophilia, of raping 50
Mm.
children. He may go to court and be sentenced to 40 years in prison. We can see his good heart. We
Wow.
can see him being a little child, being abused and never getting over the trauma, and just going back to share his love in a traumatic way with little children. We can see the beauty of his heart. Most most people on earth, because of what he did, see him as a monster, and they don't see him to be a real human being, and they've got no compassion and no love for him, no respect. But we see a person for who they truly are. So there's a lot of, in inverted commas, evil people that the world rejects, that we see the beauty in. So I guess we can see more clearer. There's a lot of good-hearted people in the world that seem
Mm.
good-hearted, have got good reputations, that are truly evil and sinister people. We see the heart of a person, like Samuel said to Jesse, God looks at the heart.
Mm.
So you may be what people perceive as someone who's just had a life of visiting prostitutes and obese
Mm.
and a real loser with mental illness. And that's what the world may see, but we
Mm.
see the brightest shining example of a Christian in the world's history. Um, and so we see with different lenses, and uh, once you develop our heart and develop our mind, you're able to see and discern people differently.
Wow, Father. So do you think people in heaven see you now? Do they understand you better, who you are, the kind of God you are, probably, than what they perceived you were before?
The songs that are being played now, that the artists that John Lennon and Michael Jackson have been tutoring are writing better songs, and people are getting a better understanding of me through the songs and through the books that you're producing. People are getting more of an insight, but they only see as much as they take the time to see and the time to investigate. And there's no homeless people in heaven begging on the streets in heaven. So all Matthew's teaching about being kind to the homeless and giving to the homeless, there's none of that in heaven for them to practice. Um, but um, but
Mm.
I really, Matthew forgot your question.
Yeah, that the people in heaven, do they see you the way you want to be seen now?
Yeah, that people are becoming more aware, but that they only become aware as they put the time in.
Mm. Thank you, Father. So is there any area of you that you want people to see more in heaven, especially?
Um, you can uh, you can put that down as one of the questions in book
In
10.
the character. I was thinking so. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I've written that question down. I wanted to ask you that is there any particular time in history that brought you?
Can you speak louder?
Is there a particular time in history that brought you great joy?
My son's resurrection.
Hmm.
Um, when America was founded,
When
when they
America.
when they did the Declaration of Independence, when they came up with the American rules.
Hmm.
Matthew doesn't remember what they're called, uh, but when they made the Constitution in America,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Father. Matthew, have you got a question for the Father?
Uh, yeah, so God, what do you think of the transformation and the work that Tulu has done over the last 18 months? So I'm very happy with the effort that she's put in, and I'm very happy with the way that she's developed her question asking ability and how she seems to tap into Bethany and has allowed herself to be led by Bethany while formulating questions and even asking questions in these dinner table conversations. I'm very impressed with how much she's influenced by the Spirit of God or Bethany. Um, I'm impressed with the work that she's done and the dedication she's put to it, but more impressed with her transformation. And I'm happy that she's happy and she's contented. I've heard her say a number of times that she's happy that her husband went home. And she wasn't just saying that, she meant that. And we're really happy to have a widow come to grips with her widowhood in the first 18 months and to be able to say she's happy her husband died. Um, there wouldn't be a lot of widows that could ever say that. Um, and so I'm happy with the patience that she's shown with these projects and with Matthew, with you, Matthew, and I'm happy with the friendship that she's provided Matthew and always being there available to talk when he wants to talk. I'm happy with her laughter, with her joy, with her as a mother, uh, her as a wife to Benjamin, and her love and her dedication to me fire and fuel Benjamin in heaven, and he's constantly drawing from her personality and from her life. He's constantly drawing energy from what she's doing on Earth, and the she he feels her happiness and he feels her joy, and he witnesses that always by locating and being with her and watching her. He loves his children, and he loves her interactions with them. He loves how she parents her children, and I love how she parents her children. Jesus is really happy with her. Jesus really loves her, and we all love her. We in heaven love her. From time to time, she uh, comes to a stadium in heaven and asks a panel of saints questions. We put a panel of saints, two or three saints, at a table, and she'll sit and ask them questions, and the whole of heaven learns from the interview, and she's very well versed in getting questions on the spot, and she really impacts. And in one session, over 2 hours in heaven, the whole of heaven really learns and gets transformed, and she's become the Sid Roth of heaven, and the saints line up and try and win competitions to be interviewed in front of the people of heaven, and the whole stadium comes down to meet her and get selfies with her, and people have got portraits of her and them in the house, and painters are painting those paintings too, and sometimes Bethany and Matthew are with Toulouse, and the whole three of them ask questions, and people get selfies with the three of them. But a lot of times when she's in heaven, Benjamin is sitting with her, and they're both asking the saints questions, and the saint will answer Toulouse' question, and Ben will ask him a deeper question about their answer, and they work as a team together, and they minister together all the time, and people get a selfie with Benjamin and Toulouse, and they put it in their house, and you're doing remarkable work in heaven, and you've got a wonderful name, and your husband isn't outpacing you. You're staying close to him and level with him, and you're not going to get to heaven in the future and find that you're not equal partners.
I wasn't expecting this, Father. Oh my God. So many things is happening in heaven, Matthew, don't you think? Thank you, Father. That was a surprise to me, but it was a pleasant surprise, and I'll be happy to go back and listen to that. Then I can work more harder, don't you think, Matthew?
You don't have to work hard to learn.
I know that's what you're going to say. Thank you, Father. I'm very surprised, but it's a good surprise. Thank you. I really
This
appreciate
was
it.
the secret. The father says, this was the secret you were trying to get off a manual,
Yeah.
but I came through. It's often someone different brings forth what you're expecting. You could sense you were supposed to hear something profound, but you thought Emmanuel was going to bring it, but I brought it today.
Oh, wow, Father. So what do I do with you, Father? Do I speak with you?
Yeah, we spend good time together.
Oh, wow. Do I ask good questions?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time telling you about my life.
Mm, I'm so touched, Father. Thank you. Matthew, how are you feeling? Are you still energized?
Uh,
Are you
what's the
tired?
time? Yeah, we can finish up if you like.
Okay, let's just say hello to Jesus before we finish up. Hello, Jesus.
Hello, Tulu. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy to hear your voice. I wanted to ask you a question before Matthew, just one question. I wanted to ask her, what is your favorite part of being a human?
My friendship with Mary Magdalene.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Mm. Mary, what is it like hearing that? Jesus saying that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I kind of knew that, and he's told me that before, that he wouldn't have been able to get through his life on earth without me. But
Mhm.
it's not something we share openly because, as good as people are in heaven, it will spark a kind of jealousy. But we've always been close, and so heaven's hearing that at the moment, and they know I'm very close to Jesus. And um, but that was a really insightful question to ask.
That really touched my heart. Yeah, like the impact you made in Jesus' life, and he was able to stay because of you in his life. Whereas people will have looked down on you and say you're a prostitute, you don't deserve God. But you kept saying, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Speak up a bit.
I said I wasn't expecting to hear that.
No, there's a lot of answers you get that you're not expecting, but you're meant to ask the question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Matthew. It's a good way of closing, Matthew. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Mary says that I dearly love uh, these conversations, and it's really fun to be at this dinner table, and I love everyone who exists on this dinner table. I especially love June and Bob, Matthew's parents, and I uh, you may not know if you're listening to this that when I was on Earth, Matthew was my guardian angel. He's a former angel, and so me and Matthew are close. And Matthew's angel, Jesus could see uh, my guardian angel. So Matthew and Jesus had conversations back in Jesus' day, and now Matthew's become really close to Jesus and really close to me. And now he's a human and he's not an angel. And just like Jesus was God, but he became a human and is a human in heaven. And it's too late for me to come to earth and become a human again. And it's just, I've already been a human. So the best, the best people are humans, and angels come second. Uh, and all the best people that have lived have been humans. Um, you heard it before. Matthew doesn't remember when he said it, but Bethany and Matthew spend time lecturing angels, and the angels really love Matthew. He's a real hero, and Bethany's the most decorated angel in heaven. So she's one of the most powerful angels in heaven. And that most powerful angel gives you the questions that you ask. And so I'm really pleased to know you, and you spend time with me when you come to heaven. And I dearly love you. I dearly love Jesus, and I love Jesus sharing that answer with the public.
Thank you. I really appreciate it as well. I love hearing that because I wasn't expecting that response, but it's the best response I could have ever imagined that Jesus would have said. So thank you. Matthew, you're free to close now.
Yeah, so if you've listened to this and you just tuned into YouTube and this is the first video you've watched, this Conversations at the Dinner Table is a playlist, and this is number 34 on that series. And you can go back to number 1. You can go to the playlist of Conversations at the Dinner Table and listen to video 1 all the way to video 34. If you listen to this whole video and you're a member of YouTube, please like this, and if you're a regular listener to these conversations, I would really appreciate your comment. God bless.